Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One and my old barn door and barn door treasures on eBay and digital Diane designs on Etsy for digitals only. And today I'm back. I know I told you in the last video that I would come back and show you the last little project that I was working on for our cards, and so that's what we're going to work on today. So I'm going to move this out of the way because we're gonna play with our cards, and the cards that we worked on in the last video, you know, all these ones that we did, that we created and played with and had fun with. So we're going to use these to make some pretty little dangles. Now I've heard them called several different things. I've heard them called paper dangles, and then there's Donna at Twisted Paper Studios. She calls them twisted tangles. She does hers a little bit different of a way than what we're going to do ours today. So anyways, this is not anything new. You know, it's something that lots of people are doing, and I just think they're super cute. And so I wanted to kind of incorporate those, or put my own little twist on them by using our cards instead of, you know, not instead of scraps, because, you know, we used scraps on our cards too. So I've got some really pretty ones here that we can play with that have napkins and fabric and scrap papers on. And we're just going to have a little bit of fun. So, and then I also, excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Oh, so sorry. I also wanted to incorporate a shaker element into my paper dangles, or my dangles. I'm just going to call them dangles. Because that's what we've been working on. So, excuse my hands. I've got glue stuck all to them, and I've been working making some practice ones, so my hands are a little messy. Okay, so let's just get started. So the first thing I want to do is I want to collage. I need a collage. Okay, so in order for me to do this earlier, I just took a book page. This is out of I think a Henry Terry book, and it's just the index page, and I just collaged the front and the back. And then I set it aside to let it dry. So now it is dry. So this is the one that we're going to play with. And so I'm just going to bring in my trimmer here. Scoop some of this stuff out of the way. And we're just going to start trimming our collage piece. So this is, I mean, I don't guess one's the front and one's the back, but it's however you want to use it. So I'm just going to trim this up, and I don't particularly want them this long, but we can cut our pieces and then go back and cut them the way, you know, however we want to use them. So I think I'm going to start by cutting a 1.5 inch strip, and let's see if that's the right width. Now that's kind of wide, but once we cut it down, so say I want one that's, this is 5 1/4 inches long, and I'm going to trim the top of that a little because it's a little bit uneven, you know. But once we cut that, and then I take my corner rounder and I just round all the corners. So that one's cute. That turned out super cute. So then we would take our shorter one and go ahead and round the corners of it. And set that to the side. And we're just kind of getting things prepared. But what I would do, if you want to mass make these, I would cut out all my strips first. And then round all the corners of everything. You know, and then just kind of do everything in a mass production kind of way. So I just kind of wanted to do that to show you what they would wind up looking like. I'm going to cut a 1 inch strip. I see that one's kind of thin to me, but I'm okay with that. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of cut this one in half. And that way we have some little thinner strips. So I would cut some different sizes. And that way you have different sizes to play with. Like this one I'm going to do at 1 1/4. Sorry if I'm jiggling you. I got to move the phone cord or the charger cord. Okay. So that's 1 1/4. Go ahead and cut that one. I guess I'll cut it kind of in half. Maybe a little less than half. Okay. And then I'm going to cut another one at 1 1/2. And what this does is it just gives me different size strips to work with. Sorry about the noise, guys. Okay. And then I'll cut another one at 1 1/4. And I'll cut another one. I think I'm going to do this one at 1 1/2. I think I like the 1 1/2 width, maybe the best, not sure. And then let's see. I'm just going to kind of go halfway with this one to cut the rest of that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut down different lengths of these so that I can have different sizes of them. So let me do that and I'll come right back. Okay, so I have all of my strips cut from my collage page. And then I want to take my cards, my playing cards, and I did some that are just the regular size playing cards. And then I did some that are the flash cards. And on the backs of them, some of them I left just as the flash card because I think that would be cool. And then some of them, I just put the same napkin on both sides or rice paper on both sides. So you can do it, you know, give yourself a little bit of a variety. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one down. And I want to trim this one so that I keep the numbers intact. So maybe go right there. So see, this is what you'll see on the back of the strip. And this is what you'll see on the front of the strip. So, and then of course on my smaller cards, I'm probably just going to take these and just cut them in half. And a playing card is about, a regular playing card is about 2 1/4 inches. So that would be maybe 1 3/8. Nope. I'm going to go right here just because I like the way that looks. And I don't mind if one's a little bit smaller than the other. So then you have kind of this size little strips. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of these. And hopefully you're crafting along with me. And that'll give you time to cut all of yours. So you can pause it and get them cut. And then we'll come back. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get them cut. And I'm going to go ahead and round the corners of them. Okay. And then I'll come back and we'll get started. Oh, and real quick, before I forget to show you, if you have one that's kind of this thin and it's a little bit hard to, you know, make it look right with your corner punch, just take your scissors and just snip the little corners. Just snip them at a diagonal. They don't have to be super even unless you want them to be, and then you can fiddle with that. I'm not going to fiddle with it. But if you look, I mean, that keeps them from being squared off, but they're still super cute, you know, and they have kind of a shape on the edges. So that is an idea that you can do with your super skinny ones. Okay, so now I have them all cut to the sizes I want them, and I've rounded all of the corners. So now I am ready to start punching holes and get them ready to start putting the dangles together. But before I do that part, I need to make the shaker dangle, and I was going to show y'all how I made the shaker dangle. I've already got one made, and I'll show it to you. So this is the dangle, and this is the shaker that I've added into it. And I made it out of product packaging and scrap papers. So you're recycling and you're getting to use up some of your scraps. So, and it's super simple to make. So let's just, let me show you how I made one real quick. And then we'll put some dangles together. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Okay, so to make this little dangle, I took a piece of my product packaging. This is just a package that I got something in. I don't even know what, maybe stickers or something. And it's open on this end, so I'm just going to go ahead and take advantage of that. And I've cut a piece of scrap paper to fit into the sleeve here. So I have this one. This is, I think it's a digital from Heather at Ruby and Pearl. And I love, love, love this side. This is a digital. It's either My Porch Prints or Pink Monarch Prints. I can't remember which one. I think it's My Porch Prints. So, but I wanted to do it double-sided so that it would have something on both sides like this one does. This one has one of my ledger pages on the one side. Oh, and on the other side it has one of my combined ledger pages, the collaged ledger pages. So that's what that one has in it. So I wanted it to be double-sided. So I'm just going to slide this into my packaging. And I'm not worried about this tape right here because that's going to be cut off, so it's no big deal. So I'm just going to slide this right in like that. Okay, and then I'm going to open this up and cut the flap off because we're not going to need the flap. Okay. Remington, stop growling at the neighbors. Y'all, she sits at my door. I have a French doors in my craft room that look outside. And she sits at the door and growls at everybody that walks down the street. And there are a lot of people here who walk their dogs. So I guess she is asserting her dominance. Okay, so now that I have my flap cut off, I'm open on both ends. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch with my sewing machine. I'm going to stitch all the way around, and I'm going to stitch right up. Where's that piece of plastic? Maybe it's easier for you to see on this side. Right up through here so that I can cut the plastic piece off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the sewing machine in. I don't know that, let me see if I can rearrange the camera. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that okay. Now, just so you know, I'm only going to stitch around 3 sides. So I'm going the side, the bottom, and up this side. I'm going to leave that top open because that's how we're going to get our goodies into our shaker elements into our shaker. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just doing a straight stitch. I'm going to back stitch a little. Okay, so I'm just going to stitch all the way around. And I don't know if y'all can tell, but sometimes it'll give you a little bit of resistance with that plastic. So you just have to kind of tug at it. And I just take my hand up at the top and just kind of pull it and help the sewing machine to get through or to slide the plastic. Okay. Gonna come along the bottom. We're gonna speed up a little. Sorry for the noise. Okay, and then we're gonna close up this edge. You don't want to get too close to your edge. And then I'm going to back stitch a couple of times just to make sure we got a good hold. And then we'll pull this out. And then the next thing I'm going to do, let me see if I can scoot this back a little. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch lines. I'm going to stitch like 2 lines here. Like I want my shaker to be, you know, about that wide. So I'm going to stitch a line here. I'm going to skip a little bit and stitch a line here. And then I'll show you, but I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera because you've kind of seen how it stitches with the plastic. Or actually, I have one I've already done. So we'll just work with this one. Okay, let me rearrange the camera. Okay, sorry about the glare, but hopefully you can see okay. See how I've stitched a line here, and then I've gone right beside it and stitched a line there. Because what we're going to do is we're going to cut in between, and that way you'll have a shaker that can be closed up. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and cut this part off because we're not going to need it. And this was just little dry erase dots that I got. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know where they came from. But anyway, just use your product packaging. Okay, so we're going to cut that off. We're going to cut our strings off too, but I want to cut between here first. So I'm just going to go right in the center. See, right there in the center? And I'm just going to cut a straight line all the way up. Okay. And so you can get 3 or 4 out of these little product packages if you do it this way. Or if you want a bigger one, you know, make a bigger one. It's completely up to you. You could make a big shaker tag if you wanted to. Okay, so now we have our 3 pieces, and it's not open at the top and it's not open at the bottom, so we have to decide. I'm going to get one that you can maybe see a little bit better. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim right here at the bottom. I'm just going to trim that off. And that'll trim my strings off too. And I'm going to do the same thing up here, because when I do it up here, it's going to open this top up. Because see, I didn't stitch across here. I stitched across here. Hopefully you can see that okay. I know there's a glare, sorry about that, but there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get our elements to fill our shaker. And we have to decide which side we want our shaker to be on. I already have one that has the shaker on this side, so let's do one on this side. And so I have some goodies here that I thought would work in this. And then I have some little seed beads I thought we might could add. And then I have these cute little blingy pieces that I thought would be fun, because this is kind of tiny. So if you put too much of this in there, it's going to fill it up and make it hard for it to be a shaker. But if you use these tiny pieces, so let's just, let's see. Let's use some of the pink ones. I have this little spoon I thought would make it easy to kind of scoop this into here. You know, because that's kind of tight. So I'm just going to scoop some of these into my little spoon. Get a little button and see, well, let's see how well this works. Not going to work too well, is it? I may have to put everything in one by one. That's going to be a pain. But if you don't have to put a whole lot, you know, it's not too awful bad. All right. See if I can get, they have static. Do y'all notice when you do your shakers that your sequins have static? Anyway, mine do. Let's put a button down in there. Goodness. Let's try a skewer. My skewer is not dirty. It has glue on it. It has glue stick on it. Okay, so maybe use tiny buttons, because that button had a little bit of a problem going in there. This is the first time I'm making one of these, other than the one I showed you. So, okay, so now let's get some of our seed beads. I think they'll go in pretty easy because they're tiny. Oh yeah, those are going in a lot easier. Okay, and you don't need very many because it's not very big, you know. I really wish I could get this out because he's backing up traffic. My other one wasn't this tight. Let's try a skewer. Chopstick ain't working too good. Maybe if I push him just all the way to the bottom, then he won't back up traffic. But he'll still be cute in there. Okay, let's put some different color sequins. And you don't have to put a bunch, like I say. Just put a few. Just enough to make it a shaker. And then we'll put a few of these. Teeny tiny. Those are teeny tiny, aren't they? Okay. Okay, and we'll just let those, whoops, slide right down in there. Okay. Now, once you get all of your shaker elements in there, let me push these down a little, because we need to sew the top. I'm going to scoot this out of the way. I'm running out of room on my desk, y'all. All right, and then we're going to go back to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch right here across the top. But then we need to stitch down far enough to where we can punch a hole in here. But you don't want to punch a hole below your stitching, because then your elements will come out. You want the hole to be punched above your stitching. So let me stitch it closed and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have it stitched closed, and I left enough room at the top for me to be able to punch my hole. So I'm going to go ahead and trim my little strings off here. And you can leave the strings on if you want to. I think it would be super cute if you had them a little long. That would be really cute. So there is our shaker dangle. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring our other dangles back in. I'm going to lift the camera up just a little. Okay, hopefully you can see better. So now I have a few of these that I've already punched holes in, but I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole in my shaker dangle. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in some fun elements to go on the dangle with these elements. So I have a little tray here that's got beads and bells and little fabric pieces. These are actually feed sack fabric that I put on these little clips just simply because I had them. And I've got some pretty little dangles that I've made. So we have those. Then I have a little tray that's got a few little pieces of laces and fabrics that I thought would be fun to incorporate. And then I have a little tray with some buttons and some little teeny tiny jingle bells. And then of course my bulb pins. And then I have a little tray with, these are some of my farm charms. And I just cut them out and I backed them onto something so that they weren't just white on the back. And then I've got some labels in here, different little labels. And then I even pulled out some of my Tim Holtz things. I have some, these have been sitting in a drawer forever, and I thought, well, why not use them? So we may use these. So let's just play and have fun and put together some dangles. All right, so first things first, we need a bulb pin. So I'm going to grab my bulb pin, open it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a bead or a dangle or a bell or something out here just to give it a little movement. So I think I want one of these teeny tiny bells. They are so fun. I love these. My sweet friend Debbie Long. Hey Debbie. She gave me these. She gifted them to me. So I'm going to put a bell on first. Okay, and then I think I want one of these little dangles. Let's do this one. Okay, so that gives it a little movement. And then I think I would like to put on one of these little pieces of fabric. So let's do this one. Little feed sack fabric. Okay, and then let's do one of our farm charms. Let's see, I'm trying to kind of gauge my colors to go with my shaker dangle. Oh, let's do this one. This one's fun. All right, I need to punch a hole in this one. So, and I don't always have to worry about it being in the center. because sometimes I like them to dangle a little bit sideways so that it gives it a little bit of dimension. So we're going to put that one on. And then we will take, let's do a little short piece. Let's scoot that out of the way. Let's see if we can find a little short one of these. Okay, here's a short one. I think that one will be pretty. I'm just going to punch a hole in that one. And like I say, you can go through and punch all your holes. That'll make it easier if you want to, you know, do some mass making. Okay, let's try a little piece of lace or fabric. Something pretty. Oh, let's do a piece of this. This is really pretty. I never can figure out which is the right side. Okay, so we're just going to put that through there, and I'll trim it in just a minute. I just want to see how long I need it before I trim it. Okay, and then we're going to put this one on here, like that. Okay, and then I can trim this because now I kind of know how long I need it, and I kind of want it to go about right there. Okay, and then we could do one of our Tim Holtz pieces just for fun, just because I need to use them. Let's see, let's do this pink one. And it's just a little tag, and I love these because they're double-sided. These came in one of those little packages. Okay, so we'll put that on there. And then I think I want to do another piece of lace. Now, you can do these as elaborate as you want to, or as simply as you want to. And I'll show you the few that I've done, because I've done like a variety of them. So that you can kind of see, you know, that they don't have to have a whole lot of stuff in them. Let's do a little piece of this lace. And I think I want it, excuse me, I want it between these two tags. And I think I want to kind of put it in the corner over here so that it kind of dangles sideways so you can see it a little better. Okay, so we'll put him on, and then we can do a piece, one of our pieces. No, let's do our dangle piece, our shaker. And you know what? I think that's good. I don't think we need to add anything else, because I think I want to let the shaker be the main focus. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up. And so there we have our shaker paper dangle. Okay, so let's make one more. How pretty is that? I love the shaker. I just think it's so cool. And you can put elements in both sides. If you did that, you'd want to leave your plastic a little loose so that you could get more elements down in there. You know, because you saw where I had trouble getting them in there. Okay, so let's do one more before we go, and then I'll show you some of the ones that I've done that'll kind of give you an idea of some different ways that you can do them. Okay, so we're going to start out with a bulb pen. And let's start out with, what do we want on here? Let's do a little bead and a button. How about a button? Let's do a bead and a button. Okay, so I love these little teeny tiny buttons. So let's do that bead and that button. Okay, and then let's pick us, we'll do a label. And then let's pick one of these, because I think these are so fun. Let's do this one. This is one of the farm charms from my kit in my shop. Okay, we just need to put a hole in there. Okay, and we'll put him on there. And then let's get us a piece of, let's try a piece of fabric. And these were just thrown into a little caddy that I have, a little bowl kind of thing, basket, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let's find us one of these. This side is our collage page, and this side is our little napkins. So let's find us one of these that will go on here and look pretty. And it doesn't matter which side you do it on. Let's do this one. I like the width of this one. That's super cute. And then let's do one with a piece from our napkins. I wonder how this one would look. That kind of doesn't match. Let's try this one. Oh, I like that one. But I think we need a piece of lace. So let me grab a, see what we have here. Okay, here's a piece of lace. Let's do this one. And when you have lace that's kind of thin like this, I like to kind of run it through a couple of times just to make sure it's not going to tear off. And then, you know what, before I do that, there's one more thing I want to add. I want to add some eyelash trim, because why not? I don't think I've ever seen anybody add these to dangles, but I'm going to. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it through the ball pen like that and kind of pull it tight. And then I'm just going to pull my ends through here like that, and that way it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, and then we'll put this piece on there and close him up. Get him situated. And how stinking cute is that? I love that so much. Can y'all see that okay? So you got your label and the farm charm, piece of fabric, our collage page, some lace, eyelash trim, and then our flashcards that have the napkins on them. Super, super cute. Where are we at on our time? Oh yeah, probably should kind of get it. You know what? Let's put one more together. I think we have time for one more. And we're just going to do a real simple one. Okay, so let's do a bead. I don't know if this one will fit on this ball pen. It will not. Sometimes your beads won't fit on your ball pen. Let's see. Let's try one of these little pearl looking beads. Put one of those on there, and then let's do a dangle. We'll do a simple one. I think that might be too much. Let's put a piece of fabric, because why not? Let's put this one. Okay. And then let's do this one. That's pretty together. Oh, before we do that though, let's do one of our farm charms. Let's see. Let's do this one. Got to put a hole in it. Okay, so we'll put that right there. And a piece of lace. Let's do a piece like this. Okay. And then we'll just cut him right there. And then we'll do our collage piece. And then let's do one of our smaller, actually let's do one of our smaller napkin pieces first, and we'll let this be the very back of the dangle. It would be cool with the black and white, but I also like the writing. I kind of like this one. Let's do the smaller one of this one. I like that. And then we'll put him on there. Super simple and super cute. So there we go. Okay, so let me show you a couple of the ones that I did, and then we'll call it a video. So I'll bring these in again. So you've seen the one that has the shaker. Hopefully y'all can see okay. This is one of the little mini playing cards. I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell? Yeah. And then on the back, I just kind of decorated it with some scraps. And then there's some lace in there. And then my shaker. And then just a little piece of, that fabric. Organza, I think is what it's called. And then that was our little collage piece. So there's that one. Now, if you want to do little ones, it's okay to do little ones. So this one. And you don't always have to decorate your cards. Like this card I thought was super cute. So I kept that like that. And I just put a couple of little pieces on there. Put a little eyelash trim and a couple of beads and kept it super simple. Okay, on this one, this is one of my farm charms. Some lace, little dangle. Here is one of our smaller card pieces. Right there. I love that one. And it's got the fabric on the back side. And then this is just a piece of fabric that I had laying in on my desk. And then that piece there. We have this one. It's got a label. And then this is one of those little mini cards. And I didn't even put anything on the back of it because I'm okay with that. Piece of eyelet, and then one of our flashcards that we put napkin on. Super cute little dangle there. And then the last one, I took one of my vintage tickets and I just backed it onto a piece of cardstock or scrapbooking paper. I used a little button, a little piece of lace, one of our collage pieces, and this one has the texture paste on it. And then our napkin flashcard. Super cute little dangle, and these are so cute to put in your journals. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you like these, and I hope you make some. If you do a hashtag shaker dangle. Okay, I'll put that hashtag in the description box below. And if you make some shaker dangles, use the hashtag shaker dangle. And that way I can see them, because I would love to see ones that you make. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment box below. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And come back and see me in the next video. So thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all have a great day. Big hugs.